What up, guys, and welcome back to Thomas Reacts here on the 360 Experience with myself, Thomas Mabaso.
Because I'm sitting here wondering that your engagement with the president's office with those questions, and did you get any reaction at all besides seeing the media saying you're suspended? Did you get any reaction at all from the president? Did he say, I found them, I'm attending to them? As a public protector, remember, you're protecting us.
No.
Nothing.
Nothing, because it happened within 2 days. Remember?
Yes.
I was suspended with effect from the 9th of June, and that was it.
So your answer to why you were suspended is because you asked the question, you asked the president to answer the 31 questions, the pala. What reason did the presidency give you?
No, I was saying because of the ongoing process of the hearing, the committee has been appointed, evidence leaders have been appointed. You should answer to Parliament because there's allegations that you are incompetent and you've committed misconduct.
Yes, incompetence, all of that, yes. You obviously said it was unlawful. The Western Cape High Court said agreed with you.
And said it was vindictive, ulterior motive.
Exactly.
It was as a result of the Pala investigation.
But the Constitutional Court disagreed with both you and the High Court, which is its role, I guess, is to then look at it and say, what do you think that is?
And it's insane what happened, man, with Busisiwe Mkhwebane, because after she announced that she was going to look into Pala, in 2 days, she was suspended. So, guys, do you think that President Ramaphosa did the right thing by suspending public protector Busisiwe Mkhwebane? Do you think that Ramaphosa suspended Busisiwe Mkhwebane because he didn't want Busisiwe Mkhwebane to stuff her nose in his business? Or do you think that Ramaphosa is within her right to suspend Busisiwe Mkhwebane? Actually, Busisiwe Mkhwebane is incompetent and she has misconducted herself. What are your thoughts on this whole thing of the public protector actually being suspended and being fired? You know that on Monday, the National Assembly actually voted out with the third majority to kick Busisiwe Mkhwebane out of the public protector's office. They no longer want her as the public protector. And on the 12th, we saw that the President Ramaphosa released a statement where he basically fired Busisiwe Mkhwebane, saying that if the National Assembly adopts a motion to get rid of the public protector, the president must fire the public protector. That's why President Ramaphosa is basically firing the public protector. So what do you think? What are your thoughts on this whole thing of President Ramaphosa and the public protector? Do you think that Ramaphosa is within his right? Do you think that Busisiwe Mkhwebane is incompetent? Do you think that that is the case? Busisiwe Mkhwebane is incompetent, or do you think that Busisiwe Mkhwebane was investigating the issues that she was not even supposed to investigate? Do you think that she kind of made President Ramaphosa uncomfortable and the president had to get rid of him? And what are your thoughts on this whole thing of President Ramaphosa and Busisiwe Mkhwebane?
And I know this question brings us back where we started. But what do you think that is?
Well, it's dealing with me, personally, and to make sure. Earlier you asked the issue of the media focusing more on me than the work which I've done.
The office.
Exactly.
Than the office.
And remember, under my leadership, getting 3 clean audits, and not only clean audits, they were packed with improved performance.
Wow.
Because when I arrived there, yes, the performance was below 20, if I'm not mistaken, and we pushed it. I would say we, because we worked with the team, and the way I was holding the team to account, we cannot be seen to be the ones who's delaying to do the work, because we need to lead by example. We investigating and you delay. We cannot come back and delay.
Yeah.
When I was suspended, I think we were around almost 79%.
Wow, performance.
And I remember the chairperson of the portfolio committee, of the Justice Portfolio Committee, was saying, no, with the next year, we are expecting you to reach 80% to 85%.
Keep going. Jeez.
So, unfortunately, but the biggest problem was the investigation which I did the Reserve Bank. And when you deal with the Reserve Bank, you are touching the world politics, world imperialists, unfortunately.
Which investigations that remind all of us?
The Reserve Bank, the CX investigation, where Bangkok was a gift. Was given to the Reserve Bank.
Yes.
My predecessor investigated that matter for 6 years to 7 years.
Yeah.
Then when I arrived, when you
Still
wanted
incomplete.
to clean, sweep, and you do
For
your work.
my finish.
You move my furniture, say cleaners here. That was my downfall. That and almost all of those investigations which left the free head as well. The same thing.
You found the free head there.
I did. It was 4 years in
Yeah.
the office. The CX was around 6 to 7 years.
Yeah.
5-6 years. So I issued that report and all those accusations. How do you do that? How can you recommend like this?
Remind us very briefly of the recommendations of the Reserve Bank findings. What were your recommendations?
The first one was, the investigation, the way, hence I said to you, the research which we conducted was to check how the reserve banks are operating in other countries. And why the Reserve Bank is because the complaint by this advocate Hoffman to my predecessor was that the state money was used to pay this CX company to investigate and recoup the monies which we lost during the transition.
Yes.
And one of those was the illegal gift which was given to this Bangkok. They didn't have the resources. It was a bank, and they borrowed money from the Reserve Bank, and Reserve Bank was giving them money, and they never repaid, and until ABSA took over that bank. And when we were investigating, we then discovered that ABSA says the money, actually the loan was paid, but then we didn't find any proof that the interest to the loan was paid back.
Was the principal funds paid though? The main.
That's what they showed us. They said it has been paid.
Yeah.
So the main thing was that one. So, and remember again, Judge Davis in the past investigated the very same thing and said it's an unlawful gift. Judge Heath, though there was no report, but there was a media statement, because when we checked with SIU, where's the report? There was no report. I met with the presidency, especially the late legal advisor, President Wood. Where's the report? But since the SIU proclamation was issued by the then president, is it possible then to re-look into this matter? Because we cannot just leave it.
Yes.
That's one of the recommendations. And after the presidency said, public protector, you cannot recommend, because the former public protector, the draft was saying there must be a commission of inquiry. And by then they said, no, it can't be, because there's this issue is state of capture, which is before court. You cannot also make the same. And as well, checking, can we go back to the root cause?
Sure.
How can we resolve this? So then the recommendation was saying, SIU, reopen this investigation. Can you re-look into it? Check whether,
everything is above board.
Yes. Who benefited, who was paid, and so that we can recoup this money. And again, SIU, because you can, in the mid investigation, you can attach certain properties. You can do that. You have those powers which you don't have.
You don't have that. Yeah.
Then the other one was that, the way the Reserve Bank mandate is in the Constitution, it needs to be re-looked and made those recommendations. Because as a public protector, as an ombudsman, you have those powers, because you are there to show those in leadership that, this one, you will never get anywhere with this kind of mandate.
Yeah.
You need a mandate which will then also include the issue of, empowering or employment creation and all those. Because you can't have a situation where only a few can have access to the resources of the Reserve Bank and the state and whatever.
Which is how it is even now.
Currently. So then that was my biggest sin.
You regard it as
So according to Mkhwebane, man, pala it's very minor to what really cost her job. According to her, that ABSA investigation, man, that ABSA investigation and this Reserve Bank investigation are the ones that really cost her job, not the pala, man.
sleeping dogs that you poked and they woke up.
A lot, and I was criticized in all angles,
Yeah.
and it was just purely to say, you know what, to assist you, we have this problem, and there are these resources. Can we look into them? But then again, you don't do that. You don't touch the Reserve Bank. And I was punished because I was punishing my personal costs.
Oh yes, the ruling said you pay for the
So for me, it's that personal cost, and then this Hoffman again went ahead and opened a perjury case, which I'm still
dealing with even now.
Even now, it was postponed to 26 October, if I'm not mistaken, because we are saying to Patoi and NPA, you can't proceed with this, because what the judges said, they confirmed what the High Court was saying, and of which is not the truth of what was captured there, and the minority judgment captured it very clearly. The explanation I gave on when did we use the economist and the issue of, because at first I was accused that I met with the president. Later that charge was withdrawn. I never met with the president and discussed this matter. I met with the legal advisor of the president. In fact, I met with the presidents.
Yes, exactly.
And why did I meet with the state security agency? Why was I trying to... And I mean, the issue was, I wanted to understand, because that contract was signed between, that MOU between the, by then South African Secret Service with this foreign company. It's like a spy company. So normally when you do that, you need the
clearance,
both intelligence to work together.
Okay.
So I wanted to check, was this indeed signed? Do you know anything about this? Which was the issue of confirmation. I wouldn't just put in the report without verifying that that happened.
When you look at personal costs, that always followed you with a lot of some of the judgments. Do you think in the long run it becomes discouraging of the role of the public protector? Because as the final stem, you question yourself twice now, that maybe I'm wrong and I might end up having to pay for this if I'm wrong. What happens to those moments where you realize that maybe I could be making a wrong judgment and it'll affect me personally?
It made me to just go on and on to tell myself, you know what, I wouldn't allow them to instill fear. Remember, the public protector must do their work without fear or favor. Now that was instilling fear in me. And I was also fighting it and defending this mandate because I was trying to protect my successors.
True.
That they mustn't be exposed to something like this. Not only them, but other Chapter 9 institutions. So, and what's worse is that I'm being said to be incompetent by the DA and them, only for regarding these 4 matters, forgetting that I think by that February 2022, I told you the states, I already issued around 412 reports. Wow. So by
out of 400 and so reports,
12,
yes,
I'm accounting for this
for 4.
And I was punished for the Reserve Bank with personal costs. The Busasa
did it carry personal costs?
Didn't.
Yeah.
And I think there was Friede, which carried personal costs. And Friede, the judges in the High Court who told me, who waited for the Concord to issue the personal costs one, also clobbered me with personal costs, where Kasak and DA were saying, I changed my Doncella's report. And when I called my Doncella as a witness hearing, my Doncella said, no, I never drafted a report.
And yet they're saying you changed their report.
And the Concord said I must pay those personal costs.
What?
It forces me a little bit to go to this direction.
Is Busisiwe Mkhwebane actually insinuating that the courts are actually conspiring with the executive, man? Is this what she's saying? Is Busisiwe Mkhwebane saying that the courts are conspiring with the executive? Because she says that these cases that she lost, she was being punished for asking some of these questions. She was being punished for raising some of these issues. So if you say that you were being punished, you mean that even the courts were in on it? Is this the allegation that the public protector or the former public protector, guys, is Busisiwe Mkhwebane the former public protector or what? Is she insinuating that the courts are working with the executives, are actually conspiring with the executives?
As a hostile witness during your hearing, why do you think that was?
I called her so that, she also... She has gone through a lot, remember.
As a PP as well.
As a PP, was attacked, was criticized. But I also thought, because the investigations happened under her watch for many years, and I thought she would come there and just explain the mandate, the role, who are the investigators, how the investigation is conducted, where do I come in. And now she ended up also distancing herself, and the behavior, I don't know whether it was justified. And I think others then were saying my SC Umpofu was attacking her. I think it's a question of how she also answered, how she compiled her affidavit, and also trying to make sure that things are done properly. And also when she was asked about simple questions, you asked me one question about what I don't remember, but I should be answering you genuinely and openly.
That's
Are you an admitted advocate?
It's not a complicated
It's not a complicated thing.
Yeah.
You just accept and agree to that. So I think...
It stood that moment.
She's basically saying that Tulima Donsala was captured, man. That's what she's saying.
It stood out that we would expect you both to be on the same side, so to speak. But it seemed like there was a hostility, and I wouldn't know where it was coming from. And maybe also because hostility can be observed differently by two people. Maybe we think she was hostile and she wasn't. I
don't know.
Yes.
But the others think she was not, because
you see, that's exactly my point.
Organizations, your famous NGOs, and those who are funded by foreign funders, who've lodged complaints with the Legal Practice Council against Bofu.
Wow. Saying he was the one who was hostile.
They're saying that about Judge Grichla of Freedom Under Law, that the way Mpofu behaved, I mean, if they knew that it was an issue of just bringing her to say how that office operates,
that's
what's
it,
to happen. And unfortunately with me, the judges were used to deal with me because it was not a process you would determine, because in my performance agreement, or when I was appointed, I was never told you must win all cases.
So guys, you've heard Busisiwe Mkhwebane's side, man. Which one do you believe between the president and Busisiwe Mkhwebane? Do you think that Busisiwe Mkhwebane was fired for actually investigating the matters that she was not investigating, for actually asking the questions that she was not supposed to be asking, or Busisiwe Mkhwebane was fired because she's incompetent, like the president said? Man, please tell me what are your thoughts, man. I would really appreciate it if you tell me what you think about this whole saga of the public protector and the president. Guys, please drop those comments, and please don't forget to hit that like button. And the most important part, guys, please subscribe. My name is Thomas Mabaso, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.